What if I told you that the most powerful brain-building tool for your child costs absolutely nothing and takes less than 10 minutes a day? Most parents spend hundreds of dollars on educational toys, flashcard programs, and learning apps, desperately trying to give their child an intellectual edge. But here's the truth that the parenting industry does not want you to hear. The activities that create genuinely smarter, more capable children are happening right in your living room, in your kitchen, on your daily walks, in the most ordinary moments you share together. Your child's brain is growing at a rate that will never be matched again in their entire lifetime. Every single interaction, every game, every conversation is literally wiring neural connections that will shape how they think, learn, communicate, and solve problems for the rest of their lives. The window is open right now, and today, I am going to give you 10 specific activities that tap directly into how your child's developing brain is designed to grow. Let's get into it. Activity number 1 is the mirror game. This one looks like silly fun, but it is actually one of the most scientifically powerful things you can do with a young child. Sit together in front of any mirror, a bathroom mirror works perfectly, and start making faces. Stick out your tongue, raise your eyebrows, show a big surprised expression, make a happy face, and then a sad one. What your child is doing while they watch you and then study their own reflection is building something called neural mirroring. Their brain is learning to connect facial expressions to emotions, to recognize themselves as a separate individual, and to understand that other people have inner feelings that show on the outside. This is the foundation of empathy, emotional intelligence, and social understanding. These are not soft skills. They are cognitive powerhouses that determine success in school, in relationships, and in life. Do this for just a few minutes every day, and you are wiring your child for extraordinary social and emotional intelligence. Activity number 2 is treasure basket exploration. Here is all you need to do. Take a basket or bowl and fill it with 10 to 15 safe household items that feel, sound, and look different from each other. A wooden spoon, a smooth stone, a piece of soft fabric, a metal measuring cup, a small cardboard box. Then place your child near the basket and step back. Let them touch, shake, mouth, and examine each object completely on their own without you directing what they should do next. This free exploration builds sensory processing pathways in the brain, trains curiosity, and develops early problem-solving skills. When they discover that the metal cup is cold and heavy while the fabric is warm and light, their brain is categorizing the world and building the architecture for scientific thinking. Change out the items every week or two to keep the experience fresh and challenging. Activity number 3 is what I call the name everything habit. Your child's brain is absorbing language at a stunning rate, even long before they speak a single word back to you. Every word they hear is planting a seed that will eventually grow into reading ability, communication skills, and the capacity to understand complex ideas. So starting today, make a practice of naming everything you encounter together. When you hand them a cup, say the word. When you walk past a tree, point and say it. When you are preparing food, name each ingredient out loud. You do not need full sentences or grammar lessons. Simple, clear, repeated words are exactly what their developing language centers need. Children who are exposed to rich, varied vocabulary in these early years consistently develop stronger reading skills and better communication abilities throughout their entire education. Activity number 4 is peekaboo, but taken further than you probably have been playing it. This game seems trivially simple, but it is teaching one of the most important cognitive leaps in early development. Object permanence is the understanding that things continue to exist even when you cannot see them. Before a child grasps this concept, when something disappears from view, their brain genuinely believes it is gone. Peekaboo teaches them, through joyful repetition, that hidden things still exist and come back. Once they internalize this, their brain can begin to handle much more complex thinking, Understanding that you still exist when you leave the room, that a toy hidden under a blanket is still there, that actions have consequences they cannot always see immediately. Vary the game as your child grows. Hide toys under cloths and let them uncover them. Peek around a door frame, step behind a curtain and reappear. Each variation builds memory, prediction, and logical thinking. Activity number 5 is music and rhythm time. When your child hears music, feels a beat, claps along, or moves their body to a rhythm, both hemispheres of the brain are activated at the same time. Research consistently shows that musical engagement in early childhood strengthens mathematical reasoning, language development, focus, and coordination. You do not need instruments or formal lessons. Clap a simple pattern and encourage your child to clap it back. Sing action songs together. Give them safe objects to bang on like a pot with a wooden spoon. Dance with them to whatever music you enjoy. The cross-hemisphere brain activity that happens during musical play builds neural connections that support virtually every type of academic and creative learning that comes later. I've linked a resource in the description that I think you'll find really helpful. Activity number 6 is the crawl obstacle course. Most parents think crawling is just a transitional phase before walking, but the crawling movement itself, where the right arm and left leg move together and then switch, creates something called bilateral coordination. This cross-lateral movement actively strengthens the connection between the two brain hemispheres, which is deeply linked to reading ability, focus, and handwriting skills later on. Set up a simple indoor course using pillows, cushions, a cardboard box to go around, a low coffee table to go under. Let your child crawl over, under, and around the obstacles. Change the configuration regularly. 5 minutes of this kind of intentional movement provides developmental benefits that extend years into the future. Activity number 7 is expressive reading. Reading to your child is valuable, but how you read matters enormously. When you read in a flat, even voice, their brain receives words. But when you read with big, exaggerated expressions, changing your voice for different characters, building tension with dramatic pauses, showing excitement or sadness with your face and tone, you are giving your child's brain a multi-layered experience. They are learning that voices carry emotional meaning, that stories have structure and arc, and that language is a rich, living thing. This builds auditory processing, emotional understanding, imagination, and later, stronger reading comprehension. Perform the books. Make the scary parts sound scary. Make the funny parts genuinely funny. The same books read over and over with this kind of expression build remarkably strong neural pathways, because repetition is how young brains consolidate learning. Activity number 8 is water play with experimentation. Babies and toddlers are natural scientists. Set up a shallow container of water with cups, spoons, a sponge, and objects that float or sink, and then just let them explore. When your child pours water from one container to another, they are learning about volume and gravity. When they squeeze a sponge, they are understanding pressure and release. When they drop objects and observe what happens, they are forming hypotheses and immediately testing them. This predict, test, observe cycle is the foundation of scientific reasoning, and it is happening completely naturally through play. Bath time works perfectly for this. The mess is absolutely worth the developmental reward. Activity number 9 is the follow the leader movement game. Sit facing your child and make a simple movement, patting your head, raising both arms, touching your nose, and encourage them to copy you. This imitation process is far more cognitively demanding than it appears. Their brain must observe what you did, hold that image in working memory, and then coordinate their own muscles to recreate the movement. This strengthens the prefrontal cortex, which is the area responsible for planning, focus, and decision-making. It also builds the foundation for following instructions and learning new skills. Start with large, easy movements and gradually build complexity as they improve. Let them lead sometimes too. When you copy their movements, you teach them that their actions have real influence on the world, which builds confidence alongside brain development. Activity number 10 is the outdoor discovery walk. Nature is one of the most powerful learning environments that exists for developing brains. When you are outside, your child is receiving a flood of multisensory information that no indoor activity can fully replicate. They feel wind on their face, hear birds and rustling leaves, see things moving and changing in real time, smell grass and rain and flowers. All of this simultaneous sensory input accelerates brain development, strengthens attention span, and supports emotional regulation. Transform every walk into a discovery walk by slowing down and naming absolutely everything you encounter. Point to the dog across the street. Name the color of the car parked nearby. Let your child touch the bark of a tree. Press their fingers into soft grass. Watch an insect moving along the pavement. These real-world sensory experiences connected to language create the deepest form of learning possible because so many areas of the brain are engaged at once. Even 10 minutes outside daily delivers enormous developmental benefit. Here is what ties all 10 of these activities together. None of them require money, none of them require expertise, none of them require you to set aside large blocks of time. They are all built into the moments you are already sharing with your child every single day. The difference between a child whose brain is being actively shaped and one who is not comes down to awareness. Now you have it. Start with just 2 or 3 of these this week and watch what happens. Your child's brain is ready. The question is whether you will meet it where it is. If this was helpful, share it with another parent who needs to hear it. And make sure you subscribe because we release new videos every week on raising smarter, healthier, more capable children. The next one is something you will genuinely not want to miss. I've linked a resource in the description that I think you'll find very helpful. Subscribe so you can keep learning good parenting tips that work.